Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now. I have some pretty exciting news for all of you Packers fans out there. Something that could shake up the NFC North and potentially give Green Bay a serious edge moving forward. Yes, I'm talking about the recent trade buzz involving none other than Travis Etienne, the talented but somewhat underappreciated running back from Jacksonville. It might seem like just another rumor, but when you look at the bigger picture, the implications are huge. Etienne, who was a first-round pick back in 2020, has seen his role fluctuate over the past couple of seasons, especially with the Jaguars. Last year, he ran for just 558 yards, a far cry from his rookie season where he racked up over 1,000 rushing yards. And that's not just a coincidence. The Jaguars have been shifting their priorities, especially with Tank Bigsby stepping up and showing promise, which raises questions about Etienne's future in Jacksonville. But what if I told you that the Packers could be the perfect landing spot for Travis Etienne? That's right. I've been doing some deep thinking, and I truly believe that a trade involving Etienne to Green Bay could be a game-changer. Let's break down why that makes so much sense, especially considering the Packers' current roster and their needs heading into the 2026 season. First, pairing Etienne with Josh Jacobs would give Green Bay a dynamic 1-2 punch that could rival any in the league. Last season, Jacobs ran for an impressive 329 yards and 15 touchdowns, reaffirming his status as one of the most dangerous runners in the NFL. But as good as Jacobs is, there's always the concern about workload and durability, especially considering he carried the ball 301 times last year. That's a heavy toll, even for a running back of his caliber. And here's where Etienne enters the picture. Despite a bit of a down year in 2024, where he managed only 39 catches for 254 yards, Etienne still demonstrated his value as a pass catcher, adding versatility that Jacobs lacks. A player like Etienne, who caught 58 passes just a year before, can be a crucial weapon out of the backfield, especially in today's NFL where passing threats from the running back position are more valuable than ever. If the Packers can land Etienne and get him to replicate or even improve upon his previous receiving yardage, say around 476 yards, which he had in 2023, they would significantly bolster their offense. Imagine a scenario where Jacobs is the workhorse on the ground, while Etienne is used in third down and passing situations, keeping defenses honest and giving quarterback Jordan Love more options. Now, some might wonder about the cost. The Jaguars are probably looking to move Etienne before he hits free agency in 2026, especially considering they drafted Tank Bigsby in 2023, who impressed last season with 766 rushing yards on just 168 carries, averaging 4.6 yards per carry. The Jaguars are clearly building for the future, and with Bigsby showing flashes of brilliance, it's likely they're open to trading Etienne for a decent return, possibly a late-round pick or even more, depending on negotiations. And for the Packers, this trade makes sense not just because it fills a positional need, but because it aligns with their current timeline. They're in a window where adding a player like Etienne could accelerate their push for a deep playoff run, especially if they're able to optimize his role in their offense. Let's take a moment here, pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking at the bigger picture, the Packers have already invested in a solid running game with Josh Jacobs, but adding Etienne would give them that extra spark, that extra dimension that could make their offense unpredictable and much harder to defend. It's not just about running or catching, it's about creating mismatches, keeping defenses guessing, and elevating the entire unit. With Jordan Love continuing to develop, Having a versatile backfield duo like Jacobs and Etienne could take some pressure off him, allowing him to focus more on making throws and managing the game while Etienne and Jacobs do the heavy lifting on the ground. And let's not forget the impact on the division. The NFC North is increasingly competitive, with teams like Detroit and Minnesota making moves each offseason. The Packers have been quietly building their roster for a potential resurgence, and this kind of trade, if it materializes, would send a clear message. Green Bay is all in on winning now. Etienne's speed and agility, combined with Jacobs' power and vision, could turn the Packers into one of the most formidable offenses in the league. Imagine the kind of game plans opposing defenses would have to prepare for, trying to contain two backs who can both run and catch at an elite level. Also, from a strategic standpoint, this move would show that the Packers are willing to be aggressive, to make bold moves to reclaim their spot at the top of the NFC. It's a message to the rest of the league that they're not just content with rebuilding, they're here to compete, and they're willing to make trades that can transform their team quickly. And given the current landscape of the NFL, with so many teams investing heavily in their skill position players, the Packers need to keep pace. Bringing in someone like Etienne, with his explosive ability and pass-catching skills, would be a step in that direction. Now, let's talk a little about the potential challenges. Acquiring Etienne wouldn't be without its risks. For one, there's the price. What would the Jaguars want in return? It's unlikely they'd give him away for just a late-round pick, especially considering his talent and youth. The Packers might have to part with a mid-round pick or even a player, depending on negotiations. And then there's the adjustment period. Etienne has to gel with the Packers' offensive system, learn new blocking schemes, and adapt to a different style of play. But given his talent and the coaching staff's reputation for developing players, I believe he could integrate seamlessly. Furthermore, the Packers' offensive line will play a crucial role in maximizing Etienne's impact. Green Bay has made strides in improving their protection, and with a solid line, Etienne's quickness and vision could shine even more. The same applies to the coaching staff, which has shown a willingness to tailor the offense around their personnel strengths. Incorporating Etienne into their game plan could be a masterstroke, especially if they focus on creating space for him to operate in space and using him in a variety of formations to keep defenses guessing. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think the Packers should go all in and try to acquire Travis Etienne? Would this pairing with Josh Jacobs make your team a serious contender? Or do you think there are better options out there? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of the Packers. Remember, this team is shaped by its fans, and your voice is important. As we look ahead to the 2026 season, the NFL landscape is set to be even more exciting. The Packers are already making strategic moves, and adding a player like Etienne could be the kind of move that tips the scales in their favor. The division will be fierce, but with the right pieces and a bit of luck, Green Bay could be back in the Super Bowl conversation sooner than we think. That's what makes this news so thrilling. It's about possibilities, about vision, and about the relentless pursuit of greatness. And with the NFL always full of surprises, we'll be watching closely to see if this trade becomes a reality or if another bold move is around the corner. Either way, the Packers are definitely a team to keep an eye on, and we'll be here to bring you all the updates, analysis, and insights you need to stay ahead of the game. Remember, it's not just about stars and stats. It's about the passion, the history, and the unwavering hope that each season brings. The Green Bay Packers have a rich tradition of rising to the occasion, and whether this particular trade happens or not, one thing is for sure. This team will keep fighting, keep evolving, and keep dreaming of that elusive Super Bowl title. So stay tuned, keep supporting your team, and let's see what the future holds for this incredible franchise. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. Thanks for being part of this journey, and as always, go Pack Go!